Oh my God. We are back for yet another episode of Grindhouse Chic. As always, my name is Robert Snyder, and I am joined once again from the man from Ohio, Matt Armstrong. Matt, how has it been for you? What have you been up to lately?
Not too much. Getting ready for another semester of school.
Aren't you done?
No, I'm only taking like a class or two every semester.
Good lordy, it's wrecking our relationship.
It's getting, I've lost all interest at this point, but I feel like I just have to finish now.
Yeah, taking one class at a time is like it's piecemealing your graduate degree.
Yeah.
You'll be 50 by the time you get it. And
Well,
then it'll be
I transferred in with I had two associate's degrees, so a lot transferred over, but it's still even at that point, it's still taking a while. It started during COVID.
Yes. Don't want to be reminded of those days. Um, Speaking of education, I got my degree in psychology from a school in the Caribbean over the last week, just so
Oh,
I could diagnose you. um, we were talking in one of our chats. You were talking about the Kino cult line, and you have the FOMO because they have spine numbers that you need to buy them all.
oh yeah.
You don't, Matt. You don't have to buy them all.
I mean, it seems like a cool line anyway, so might as well. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Ever since I was a kid, like I think the first thing I started collecting was like Marvel trading cards,
Okay.
and I like got the checklist card, and I like I had to get all of them. I had to check off every single one of those check boxes, and ever since then, I've just been a big freak.
You don't have to, man, because boutique label collecting is expensive.
Yeah.
I'm right now arguing with myself whether I should or shouldn't buy the Coffin Joe box set. I've seen one Coffin Joe movie. I did not like it.
Hmm.
And I have a feeling if I spend the $100 on that, I am going to have something just obnoxiously big sitting on the shelf collecting dust.
There's got to be something in there for you.
I don't know. I think Synapse put one out, and I think I have it on, or they had put a few out on DVD. I think it was like a set. I have those, and I don't remember liking them. I thought they were very slow paced.
Yeah, from what I remember, I haven't seen any in a long time, but from what I remember, they were kind of, I don't want to say boring, but I forget who said it in the group, but I mean they are like important. So it's kind of a cool set to have.
Yeah, but I'm worried about what else is going to be coming out in the next year. I don't know if I want to put my $100 to that when in next year we have the four Ilsa movies coming out, and they will probably be $100. And I know the Ilsa movies won't have as many or special features like the Coffin Joe set will, but I know I like those movies.
Right.
I'd rather spend my money on that or the Clones of Bruce Lee box set that Severin is eventually going to be putting out.
Yeah.
And then my subscription again for next year. And
That is coming up quick.
same thing with the Severin November stuff, which I still haven't received my summer sale stuff, but
Me neither.
I
I
heard I heard
I
they have everything now. So
hmm, nice.
hopefully I'll get it before October.
I've noticed that unless I just haven't seen it, I've noticed that no one in the Severn groups is complaining like they do in the Vinegar Syndrome groups.
I have a thing in the Vinegar Syndrome group that I really hate is when the new titles are announced. Whereas, man, it must suck to be a subscriber.
Yeah.
I really fucking hate that so much because I don't get why. Like I find something in every month that I enjoy.
Hmm.
Um, I will say July was probably my least favorite month, and I haven't got to Gorgo yet. I don't know when I will. Killer at Tenbray. I watched 10 minutes of it, then I found something better to do, and I haven't watched Delirium yet. Like I haven't watched those movies, but I'll get to it. But like this month, I like the first thing I watched was Guest House Paradiso, and I had a lot of issues with it, but I still found it funny. This morning I watched Amazon Jail 1, and was it a good movie? No, but I enjoy every second of it. And I've been really digging through the AGFA release, which, man, might be one of my releases of the year. Let me get the exact name of it, because I am terrible with names. The Terminal Degeneration, the films of John Mortescue. I know I mispronounced that last name, but it's funny. I got the set thinking all these movies were going to be new to me, but I've realized I've seen My Degeneration before. I've seen Terminal USA. I've seen Modfuck Explosion. All like one night in college, not in college, in art school. My friend Punk Rock Dave had them on VHS, and we watched them. And I had no idea who the filmmaker was. We were high and drunk, and My Degeneration just had some great music in it, and I was on board. And I put it on. I'm like, huh, why is this movie familiar? Oh yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah.
But that might be one of my picks of the year. Nice. Because it does what boutique collecting is supposed to do: bring you films that you can't stream.
Yeah. Yeah, and kind of going back to what you were saying, like with people saying it must suck to be a subscriber, like aside from getting everything, which I did before being a subscriber too, but being a subscriber, I think it is way better, because I feel like those blind buys are like my favorite part. And it's like I've been feeling the same thing with the TerraVision subscription. It's, those ones I might not have continued to get, but since I've subscribed, I get them. And I gotta say, I think one of my favorite movies I watched this year is Regala.
I've considered buying it, but here's the thing: I'm not, except beside the Linnea Quigley workout video, nothing they've put out has screamed must own.
Yeah,
and I think right now they are releasing. They have a very ambitious schedule, and a few things I'm interested, like the Silent Dante's Inferno release. I'm excited about that, but
yeah, that's a cool one.
It's few and far between, and I think eventually their audience isn't going to be able to keep up with their growth.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot, and I keep going back and forth on what size subscription I want to do next, and I have not decided yet, but like you said, the VS one's coming up, so I have to plan accordingly.
And I wonder if they're going to put an add-on for the adult titles, which I actually don't see happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they've really touched on if they're gonna do anything with Culture Shock, or if it's just gonna be separate. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry. I don't think they'll do anything with Culture Shock.
Oh, you're talking about the Melusine?
Melusine, yeah, but
yeah,
I still haven't ordered the new Culture Shock one. It doesn't excite me.
Yeah, I forget what it is.
I might buy it, but it's yeah. I don't feel the need to collect everything they do now.
Oh, Night of the Bastard.
Oh, the movie about me.
The next one looks good though. It's the
Revenge of the Party Nerds. One and two.
yeah, the like volume 2, whatever that was.
Yeah, more of that same actor.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. No, I mean, like, look, I applaud what TerraVision is trying to do, but I know the I have a feeling the video part isn't the money making venture. I think it's the records and the retail stores.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
think
would say so. I am interested to see. It'd be cool to know what they make on these movies because I was watching Michael Keane when they announced the head on there, and he was saying that TerraVision pays the so it essentially him. He said they pay him pretty good per copy. So I don't know what they're taking out and what they're paying him, and I don't know. But I mean, at $25, I would assume it can't be a ton.
yeah, I have no interest in buying that movie. I like Michael Keane.
Uh-huh.
I think he's a creative guy. Um, it just doesn't interest me.
Yeah, and it's on YouTube for free. I mean, I guess you could always check it out first.
Yeah, again, I gotta think of my budget. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't buy everything that's out there. Like I was talking to one of our friends, and we were talking about the Bruce Lee Arrows 4K Arrow set. I'm I'm perfectly happy with my Blu-ray Criterions.
Yeah.
I did not need to upgrade. I mean, the Criterion was an upgrade from the Shout Factory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I gotta end the cycle at some point. I can't just get every upgrade there is.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that because I was looking at that Arrow one and I remembered buying the Criterion one and I was like, I do not remember if that was Blu-ray or 4K. So it's Blu-ray.
It's Blu-ray.
Okay.
I think the only difference would have been if Enter the Dragon was in 4K on that one, because I mean, let's be honest, that's his best movie.
Mm-hmm.
I I really, while I like the other ones, the Criterion transfers are good enough for me. I picked up Enter the Dragon at Best Buy on 4K.
Yeah.
I don't need another box set of it. I mean,
Yeah. They do just pile up.
I'm almost out of shelf space, and like when I got my Vinegar Syndrome order, and I had to start not reordering things, like putting things side to side instead of just so I could have more space. And
What
I
did
think
you think? What did you think of the Tale of Tiffany packaging?
I thought it was I loved it. I did not pay attention to what I was ordering. Like I just ordered the stuff I wanted. I didn't pay attention to the packaging. I think they are treating Melusine, or however you pronounce it, as the Criterion of porn.
Yeah,
I just wish there were more special features on it.
I'm interested to see if they what they do with the rest. If they're just going to go to just the normal slipcover or not, or if they're going to try to keep something up.
I have a feeling Melusine is their VSU, so it's not going to be every month. It'll be like 3 or 4
Mm.
times a year. Um, I did watch one of the Quality X films. I watched not Center Spread Girls. The other one,
Uh, Something about personal.
nothing personal.
Yeah,
No, I'm sorry, Getting Personal.
getting person.
And as much as I love the double exposure of Holly, this might be my new favorite adult film. The story was so good, they could have cut the sex out and it would have been a fantastic film.
Nice.
But the sex was pretty good in there. And I, I'm I do actually want to revisit that one again. Like I think we should talk about it once you order your copy of it.
Okay.
But I mean, it's if this is the quality of stuff that we're getting for Quality X and whatever the Peakorama is next month, I think I think there's the smut stuff will eventually become really good sellers for them,
Mhm.
even though it's a dying audience.
Yeah, and I will be interested to see if they do something with a subscription for them. I imagine it's probably have to be separate.
Yeah, I don't think they will. More than I think about it, I think because let's face it, these things are low sellers. They will only probably get a few hundred subscriptions compared to
Mhm.
1,000. And plus, they make more if they just do 50% off for subscribers.
Yeah, it's
So,
true.
and plus, like, we would only get, would it be just Peakorama? Would it be Quality X? Because it wouldn't be the Melusine ones. Because again, it's like VSU. I
Hmm.
think they're going to treat them all as sub labels.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. But yeah, kind of just. I guess it kind of doesn't seem like it's like it'll happen.
But here's the thing: I don't care. I'm enjoying my subscription. Like
Hmm.
I did watch Killer Condom, and we will talk about it at some point in September. But I again, I don't know why all the hate was is for that movie.
Yeah.
I liked it for two reasons. One, it was ridiculous. Two, I think I understand my German more than I thought I did because I wasn't reading the subtitles and I was following along with most of the conversation. It's also weird for a movie set in New York where everyone speaks German. Now I know how other countries feel when their
Yeah,
German characters
I think
speak
that's a pretty
English.
cool one. I mean, I feel like people just don't like trauma movies.
I don't like trauma movies, but Trauma was only the company that released it. There's no trauma anything on the movie. I did
Hmm.
watch the director's cut, so
Okay.
there could be on the other one, but I had a great time with it. It was nothing like I thought it would be. It's a gay love story set in the seediest part of New York where there are killer condoms biting people's dicks off. And the killer condoms make the cutest sounds. They're like gremlin.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed that. It was like, a movie's good is when you don't pick up your phone.
Hmm.
And I did not pick up my phone during that. Did you watch anything good over the last we haven't recorded in 2 weeks. So have you watched anything good?
Oh, let me see here. I watched a lot. Let me see if any of it was good. What I did watch Srigala, and I actually really, really enjoyed that one. Um, but then I just went on a an absolute crapshoot here, starting with Infinity Pool, which I did not like. Speaking of being on your phone the whole time.
Well,
Um,
you didn't like the story of pretentious assholes who are fucking with another pretentious asshole?
I thought it was a really cool idea, but it was just so boring.
You mean you don't have an infinity pool in your house?
Not
I
yet.
I commit crimes every day and someone gets punished for it.
um, and then I watched two of the um VH Hitfest movies. I watched Satan's Menagerie and Corn Shucker.
Dude, I hated Corn Shucker so much.
Yeah, yeah,
It was a bad movie to launch the line with.
yeah. Um, and I watched the Devil Story from Vinegar Syndrome.
That's an
That
interesting.
was that was not that like had potential, but I watched some of the special features after, and it really explained things as to why it was the way it was. Um, so yeah, just kind of a real terrible bunch of movies all in a row, other
Um,
than Srigala.
I watched all 9 Saw movies.
Wow, you doing okay over there?
I was going through a little rough patch, and you know what? I don't want to play a game.
That takes dedication.
But I really wanted to, I've only seen Saw and Spiral from the Book of Saw. So,
Okay.
and the new one looks pretty interesting. So I wanted to get caught up. And it's weird, like the first 5 or 6 movies all take place within a few weeks of each other.
Yeah, when after your Black Emmanuel stint, I thought you were gonna do some comedies for a while. Not the entire Saw anthology.
Um, I did do some other films. I did watch Get My Gun from TerrorVision. I did not hate it.
Nice. I haven't watched that one yet.
I'm going to tell you my biggest problem with it. They did not need to treat it like a exploitation film, like a 70s exploitation film, and the movie made no sense. When you watch it, you'll know. Then I watched 2 movies from the whatchamacallit. The I watched one more movie because I already talked about one from the Primetime Panic 2. I watched The Death of Richie starring Robbie Benson. Here's a spoiler. He dies.
What?
Yeah. The movie opens up at his funeral. Then we see how Richie died. It was a very anti-drug movie. But Robbie Benson was a good actor who him and Ben Gazzara pulled off a really bad script and made it a good movie.
Nice. I still need to order that one.
Then I rewatched Showgirls with a friend. And my friend is a big fan of that movie. And I got to watch it from their point of view. And I liked it a little more.
What is their point of view? Is it something unique or
No, they were just talking about the movie and gay culture.
okay?
And then I was bragging once again. I was neighbors with Elizabeth Berkley. Then I rewatched Popcorn after several years. Do you own that one?
Did Arrow put it out?
Synapse.
Synapse. No, I don't think I do have it.
So fucking good. And then I watched one of the worst movies I have ever seen. I can't believe I wasted money buying it. August Underground from Unearthed Films.
I almost got that.
Yeah, don't.
They've got spine numbers.
Don't, man. Don't. It's so fucking bad. It's like, look, I am not the audience for torture porn like this, but it looks horrible. There was no need to put this out on Blu-ray. It sucked. It made me hate cinema. And then I took a couple-day break, and then I watched Guest House Paradiso and all the new Vinegar Syndrome stuff, and I rewatched Kids for the first time since I saw it in the theater when it came out.
How was that?
It's weird watching a movie from my age from when I first saw it. It so to be fair, I did not like Kids when it came out. It was one of those movies that was imprinted on my brain where I pretty much knew every scene backwards and forwards. Only saw it once. The Umbrella Blu-ray, it looks beautiful. It is kind of this after school special about don't have premarital sex, don't do drugs, and it's not preachy at all. It feels like a day in the life of these kids, none of them who are really that likable. And I always have you seen it?
A long time ago, yeah.
So one of the things when I saw it originally, the character of Telly, the kid who unknowingly is spreading HIV, I always viewed him as a bad guy, and he is a bad guy. But the tragedy is he doesn't know what he's doing.
Mm.
And his last line in the film is just kind of, poetic, where he doesn't want, fucking is the one thing he loves doing and he doesn't want it taken away from him. And eventually he's going to hear the news of what he has, and his life is going to be over at 16, which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Harmony Korine, with or without Larry Clark, would make a sequel called Adults, where we see where some of these characters are.
Yeah.
It could be a 15-minute short film.
Did that take place in Ohio or
No, that was Gummo.
Gummo? Okay, Gummo, yeah.
This took place in New York, skate kids in New York.
Okay.
But the best part of the Blu-ray is the documentary called We Were Once Kids. And I wish it had interviews with the guy who played Tully and Chloe Sten, whatever her last name is. But it's funny how the most of the kids who were in the movie were ripped off. They were paid only a few $100 and $1,000 afterwards.
Mm.
Weren't making any money of it. And then it also talks about the tragedy of two of them. One killed himself and he was becoming a star, but then drugs and alcohol started taking over. And then there was one who wanted to be a star, and drugs and alcohol were taking over. He had a heart attack while doing coke.
Mm.
But the umbrella set is beautiful. I just got the normal set with just the slip cover. I didn't get the deluxe one.
Yeah, I'll probably do the same. They're getting pretty overboard with theirs, I think.
Yeah, my worry. Well, I have no worry. It's just what's important is the movie and not all the silly things that go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the silly things that go along with stuff, but it's like with the Black Emmanuel, I did not need to get the suitcase, the board game, the pictures. The movies are the only thing that matter.
Do you use that suitcase?
I didn't get a suitcase.
Oh, you didn't get that the
No,
bigger.
no, I just got the movies.
Oh, okay.
I figured that extra $100 could go towards something else.
Coffin Joe.
Nope, I'm not. I am so on the fence of it. It's also, again, when it comes to curating my collection, it needs to be stuff I know I'll enjoy. It just can't be blind buy after about blind buy.
Yeah. I feel like I've been having a lot of fun with those this year though.
Let me ask you, what's your yearly budget for movies?
I don't really place one.
I try not to go over $5,000.
Um yeah, I doubt that I hit that.
I don't hit that at all, but I mean, my subscription for Vinegar Syndrome, I have a feeling next year will be 1,500.
Mm.
No, it won't be. It'll probably be 1,200. But that takes a big chunk out of it.
Yeah.
And not ordering stuff is not ordering stuff is help. Not ordering everything is helping. But let's get off the downer. Excuse me. Before we're going to talk about American Rickshaw, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But let me ask you this: what has been your surprise purchase of the summer? What's one movie you never heard of, and you fell in love with it?
Oh, let me look. Let me look. Um, of the summer. Hold on, I'm back to June. Hmm. Well, I think I'm gonna go with
Say it.
this guy.
Really?
Yeah, I've got it sitting here next to me because I'm ripping the movies onto my computer to put them onto my server so I
Oh,
can
by the way, can you send me the login credentials for that?
yeah,
All right.
so that I can kind of watch them wherever I'm at because I really want to finish going through this set.
What has been your favorite one so far?
Um, I mean, I kind of really enjoyed the one that we talked about.
When footmen tire, what will horses do?
I,
Or the burning hell.
I think it was the Burning Hell.
So you haven't watched any of his.
Well, I was going to say that I think I really liked. Was it Exotic Ones? Might have been Exotic Ones.
My favorite on that disc was 40 Acre Feud.
40. Okay.
Um the movie has no plot. It's just basically country musicians playing in a barn while two families argue and to be elected to the state house in the worst election ever. And but the music performances that are pretty stellar.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um
just I've been enjoying these indicator box sets in general. The ones that focus on a director.
I know he has more um he has more movies. I wish more of them were on there.
Mm.
I think my summer pick is from Vinegar Syndrome Labs, Piotr Zulkin's Apocalypse Tetralogy.
Nice.
I thought that was going to be my most hated set ever because I'm not a big subtitle or communist film aficionado, but I've loved the three movies I watched. I still have one more to go, and just a fantastic set. Which is out of print now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's sold out.
Yeah, that's quick.
Oh, actually, no, it's not. Oh, there's a standard edition now. So limited one is sold out.
I probably won't get to watch that till next year. I think
Why?
I've got every movie that I still have to watch for the year I've got on my calendar so that I can try and finish all these letterbox
I
challenges.
might suggest that we watch one for next week's episode.
I mean, that's fine. I've left some blank spaces for stuff we
No,
watch.
no, but let's go talk about American Rickshaw from one of my favorite Italian directors, Sergio Martino, who has directed such classics as, why am I blanking right now? All the Colors of the Dark, Hands of Steel. God damn it. Arrow put it out, and I do like the film a lot. Oh, 2019, After the Fall of New York, Slave of the Cannibal God, The Suspicious Death of Murder, The Violent Professionals, Torso, and my favorite title of all time, Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. This film, American Rickshaw, stars Olympic gold medalist Mitchell Gaylord, Daniel Greene as Francis, Victoria Prouty as Joanna Simpson, the stripper, or as they called her in one part of the movie, the striptease artist.
Yeah.
Donald Pleasence as the Reverend. Michi Kobai is old Madame Luna. And Sherry Rose is Mary Jo. And someone else is young Madame Luna.
Yeah, I was certain that they just put makeup on her, but those were two different people.
Yeah. One had young firm breast and one had old woman breast. So let me try to give this plot some semblance of a plot. We are following the adventures of Scott Edwards, played by Olympic golden medalist for gymnastics, Mitchell Gaylord. You know who did no gymnastics in this movie? Mitchell Gaylord.
I saw that he was just a couple years ago, he was admitted to the Olympics Hall of Fame.
You know, also should be in the Olympic Hall of Fame. Our Olympic hero, Kurt Angle.
He should. It's true.
It's damn true. So Mitchell Gaylord plays a rickshaw driver. Do you call are they drivers?
Yeah.
In Miami. When I was a kid, I spent a lot of time in Miami Beach. I never saw a rickshaw driver. If I did, I would have begged to go on one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is taking over for his roommate who got bitten, who saw a cobra and somehow broke his leg. We know where the cobra came from.
Yeah.
Even though there are no cobras in Miami. So during a rainstorm one day, Scott helped an old woman who couldn't walk back to her home in the rickshaw. And she had been watching over him ever since, actually practically his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in a neighborhood. When some little kid asked him if he passed a test, he said he didn't. So we know he has trouble in school. As I said, his roommate has a broken leg. He gets an amulet in the mail from that woman who tracked him down many months later. I mean, if she had all these powers, why couldn't she do it sooner?
Yeah.
We then meet a television reverend played by Donald Pleasence. I love it when they cut to him in his sermons. They have stock footage of the chapel that doesn't match anything else.
Yeah.
And we meet him and his wife, and we know they have a son. One night while Scott is rickshawing, actually, we go to a strip bar, and that's where we meet Joanna. Yeah. We see a guy nervously giving her money. My guess he is from the church.
Yeah, that part was weird.
Yeah. Well, this movie was pretty disjointed. She then asked for a ride from Scott, she is dressed to the nines. Like she was looking for boners that night. She was on boner patrol. And she wants him to give her a ride to her houseboat. Not suspicious at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then she invites him in. Not suspicious at all. Then we see her looking at the mirror, and Scott realizes something is wrong. He opens a closet and sees the Reverend's son recording them. He is making porno tapes without the consent of the one person. Scott tries to get the videotape back. He fights with the guy. He steps on some glass. He's bleeding. He takes the wrong tape. And then Francis the Killer comes in. And he kills the kid, the Reverend's son. And he realizes the tape is gone. My question is, how did he realize that without watching all?
Yeah.
If Francis knew what was on every videotape, he should be in the psychic business. I know where things are. Give me a call. 1-900 Francis, your future. So all of a sudden, Scott is being accused by a murder he did not commit. The stripper turns on him and tells the police everything. They don't totally believe her. Then you have one cop giving one line, oh, have you checked your horoscope?
And then he just continued to do so the entire movie.
And that whatever he does, he looks at the camera. He's breaking the fourth wall. Yeah. I'm really surprised there was not a musical cue of womp womp. Then Scott gets with the stripper. She tells him the truth. There's some car chases, some gun fights, police pursuit. The old woman comes back in, and she says she was a goddess. And then Donald Pleasence, dressed in a mask, has sex with her and steals her power and turns her old. In the end, Francis dies. He gets hit by a truck because of magic. A key he has disappears. Him and Scott get in one more fight. Then he dies by the truck. Then he brings everything back to the old woman. She turns young, and Donald Pleasence gets shot by his wife because she knows that he's not a good person, and then he turns into a pig. I think that's American Rickshaw in a nutshell.
Yeah. A lot of twists and turns.
But no gymnastics. No, seriously. Why would you hire him to be your main actor? If you're not going to have him do some cool fight moves.
Yeah, I have never seen him in anything else.
He's made a couple of movies.
Other than Smallville.
He was on Smallville?
Yeah, he was Superman. They're clones, obviously.
He wasn't on Smallville.
No, he wasn't. Every time he had sunglasses on, he looked exactly like Tom Welling.
That's an insult to Tom Welling. No, but seriously. They could have... Martino could have had some cool fight sequences with Mitch, because he's a fucking gymnast. I'm not talking like Gymkata level gymnastics moves, just a few here and there.
Yeah. Just
so it could have made some fight with Francis more believable. And why couldn't he have been a gymnast who got injured at some point in his career? And that's why he's in college. It makes no sense. Work with what you got.
Yeah, it is weird. I saw that he was like the stunt double for Chris O'Donnell in Batman Forever.
You know, I've never seen Batman Forever.
So he was the stunt double for Robin. So I mean, he was doing some stuff, just not in this movie.
Which is a shame, because Sergio Martino is a really good director. Have you seen All the Colors of the Dark?
I have not, no. I have some box set from Arrow with... I don't think that's in it.
No, Severin put it out.
Okay.
And it's like the first time I watched it, my body just melted. It's like, this is just bizarre. The script really made no sense, but it looked beautiful, and from that point on, I fallen in love with his work. Up until then, I don't think I've ever heard or I know I probably had the Arrow stuff before, but I didn't watch it till afterwards. But this movie, it felt padded. A lot of it just felt padded. But I thought it was pretty endearing.
Yeah. So two things about this movie. One, I have never seen it, but I had always kind of just seen like parts of it here and there. And I gotta say, just seeing just those parts, I would have never guessed what the plot of this movie ended up being. um,
What parts did you see?
I've seen the part where um, they were on the boat and he just walks over and just clocks the girl. Um, I've seen I've seen the part with Donald Pleasance when he has the obvious body double, but the same face.
What scene was that?
That was like the flashback scene when he first steals the statue from
Oh yeah,
um
yeah. The only
Adam
time we
Boone.
saw him was when we saw him without the mask,
Yeah.
with the weird makeup on.
Um
Like he was
there's
trying to glam rock band.
yeah. There was something else too. Just like random little clips here and there. Um and then the other thing is I know I own this movie and I could not find my Blu-ray anywhere. I found the full movie on YouTube completely unedited.
Was it the Cauldron restoration?
I don't think so. That their logo didn't come up or anything, but I was very surprised when the first scene in the strip club was going on. I was like, wait a second, I thought I turned YouTube on.
It's funny when Cauldron announced their video, their first wave. I was out of work and didn't order them,
Mhm.
and I when I finally was able to when I finally got my new job like 7 months later, I was finally able to order the the uncool version of American Rickshaw and then the deluxe edition of the other film that came out that month. I have to say, I think Cauldron is a really good label. There's some stuff I won't buy from them, but when it comes to Italian sleeves, they seem to be on par with Severin.
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of one that um I don't order a ton of for some reason, but the ones that I have watched I have liked. And I still like I cannot believe this is an Italian movie.
Why can't you believe it's an Italian film?
I don't well it's at first was thinking that it was going to be in like China and it was just going to be some American guy there and he was going to be like the lone American rickshaw driver and then it gets to um the first scene in the church and it says like Florida whatever on it and I'm like yeah hold on a second everyone has been American so far. And then I saw that it was Martino that directed it and I was like oh this is an Italian movie. It just seemed so weird.
Wonder if it was an American production. Well, no. I, I wonder if a lot of it was filmed in Italy and only like a day's worth was filmed in Florida.
Yeah, could
But
be.
it was the only thing that says differently, it was an all American cast.
Mm.
So so it was an international co-production of Italy and the United States, and filming took place in Miami, Florida.
Mm. All the filming?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Letterboxd it only has Italy listed for the country.
It was it's kind of like that one Vinegar Syndrome released, the movie about the guy driving the caravan who killed people.
I don't know if I saw that one.
I can't remember what it's called, but it starred Josie Bissett from Melrose Place. Or I'm sorry, a pre-Melrose Place Josie Bissett.
What a good show.
At least the first season was until Heather Locklear got there and made it a soap opera. Actually, Melrose Place was trash from day one. Now I got to go back and figure out what that what the two. But it was another Italian movie that was filmed like in Virginia Beach.
And it was a Vinegar Syndrome movie.
Yeah. Hitcher in the Dark.
Okay, yeah, I have not watched that one.
It was directed by. Seriously, you haven't watched Hitcher in the Dark yet,
I have not.
dude? It was an Umberto Lenzi film.
No.
I'm very concerned that you didn't know where your copy of American Rickshaw was.
I'm really starting to get things organized. I just am not there yet.
Like even if I have a movie in a box, I know which box it's in.
Well, I'm starting to get them all organized by label, so it'll be a lot easier eventually.
I organized my collection autobiographically.
Autobiographically.
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Have you never seen High Fidelity?
Yeah, I'm just. I was wondering if you actually did it.
No, I have no order to my collection. It basically ends up on a shelf of when I bought it. So I guess that's autobiographical.
Yeah.
Like alphabeticals for suckers. Plus, my autism helps me know where things are.
Spine number. That's the way to do it.
Dude, seriously, I'm going to talk to your wife to make sure you don't order every Kino cult.
Well, there's only 3 so far.
What are you talking about? There's the whole Ilsa set's going to be on there, which I
Yeah,
can't.
but that's a problem for future Matt.
No, man, no, no. Plus, a lot of these will be available during the sales.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to sell out. But if they do, I'll get them without a slip cover.
Yeah, I haven't seen if they're limited at all.
It's Kino, probably not.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought this movie was really well paced. France, he only sent one killer. It makes no sense. It seemed like he commanded more than one guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was supposed to be. I mean, he did seem like a very overhyped villain, though. I mean, he was assuming he was the devil. He had to like leave that room, Madame Moon's compound, because there was some smoke in it.
I don't think he was the devil. I think he was a
Yeah.
man who craved power. And one way to get that is through mysticism and stealing this object. The other way is pretending to be a television preacher.
Yeah.
Because we know all those guys, everyone who's a television preacher is a good, wholesome person who's never done anything wrong. And I think this movie, the story about it is the hypocrisy of religion.
Yeah, the one detective had a really good kind of throwaway line when they were first talking about the son being murdered, and he was like, "Oh, the son of a famous preacher into skin flicks or something," and he was just like, "Huh."
That guy would have been a proud Vinegar Syndrome customer. Too bad he died early on. But
But
I felt when Scott's blood got all over there, you knew the character was done for, and that was going to be a
yeah,
plot device to accuse him of murder.
yeah, yeah, and then he just goes and grabs like a not even a wet towel, just a towel, and just tries to wipe it off.
In Terminal USA, one of the main characters gets shot in the leg early on, and the rest of the movie is him bleeding out. But
I thought the revolving the idea of this movie around a rickshaw, I thought was just funny. I don't know if it.
It
I mean,
was
it did.
it was unnecessary.
Yeah, it like didn't need to be there, but I thought it was funny that in Sam and his roommate's apartment, they've got like the rickshaw artwork like behind their couch, and it's like, wow, these guys are really into into rickshaws.
No, the roommate was because he was a dedicated rickshaw driver. Scott was just covering his shifts.
Yeah,
You got to be jacked to be a rickshaw driver.
yeah, and Scott is like in multiple scenes, just like chain smoking.
He also was fucking around with the neighbor,
Yeah,
who I don't know was or wasn't married. And then she called the cop on Scott because he wasn't satisfying her needs. I thought the most unnecessary part of the movie was introducing the stripper's kid.
yeah,
And when does Scott and the stripper fall in love?
yeah. Well, it was during their during their stay in the hotel when she went to take her shower. He all of a sudden was like, "Okay, I'm over. I'm over you betraying me."
There are lessons you learn from watching pro wrestling. You never get over the one betraying you because they'll do it again.
That's true.
Oh man, no, I really enjoyed this film. It was dumb. I stupidly recommended this movie to someone as a horror film, and I feel bad doing that because it is not a horror film. It has horror elements,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a chase film.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I thought it was really good. It was went into a lot of directions that I was not expecting it to, and I like the whole time I was like, this what was her name? Madam Moon. I was like, she's gonna turn on him. And surprisingly, she did not turn on him.
no, because she became a young hottie again and left them her cat.
Yeah.
But all right,
uh,
how many rickshaws would you give this movie?
I'm gonna go man, I think I'm gonna do 3.5.
Okay,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna do 4.
Nice. Yeah, it's a fun movie. I was expecting it to be a huge piece of crap, and as I was watching it, I was like, man, this is put together a little better than I thought it would be. And then I saw that it was Martino that directed it, and I was like, whoa, okay.
Martino again is one of my. I mean, if I was going to give my 5 favorite Italian directors, he would be in the top 5. Argento first, Fulci second. He's just up there. I think he'd probably be number 3. Then Lenzi, Bava. And I think Bava's son who did Demons. So I think there'd be 2. Did Bava do Demons?
Um,
That's gonna bug me if I'm
was
wrong.
it? It was. I think it was the son, Lomberto.
Yeah, I like.
Oh no, he's the.
No, Liberto Bava is the son. Mario's the father.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I think those are my 5 favorite. There are others too, but man, I enjoyed this film. It made me fall in love with Cauldron. Then they released some stuff that sucked, and I fell out of love with Cauldron, and I fell in love with them again.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah. So I want to end this conversation before we talk about next week's show. Pretty shitty week for wrestling deaths.
Yeah.
I mean, I am really saddened by the death of Terry Funk, the true star of Roadhouse. I also got to tell you one other thing. I learned something this week that I did not realize, and I would have talked about it more, but I feel really stupid. The lead singer of X, John Doe, was the first bartender in Roadhouse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was really saddened that I did not realize it was him. Um,
Huh.
and then the other wrestler, Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, who created some great moments in WWE over the last several years, passed away from COVID related related complications, and two great wrestlers gone. And Terry Funk was a big part of my youth. His war with Flair, his ECW appearances, and then going back and watching his old stuff on YouTube. Just really sad.
Yeah. He
Um,
made it. He made it a long time though. For I feel like a lot of the wrestlers from that age kind of hit like 50 and 60 and they're out. But
yeah, but he did something a lot of older wrestlers didn't do. He put over the younger generation.
mhm.
And that's what he did in ECW. He was there to make those wrestlers look good.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, with the Terry Funk walked so Mick Foley could run.
Yeah.
So what should we talk about for next week's episode?
Ooh, I always feel like I should bring some ideas to this, and
I have an idea. That's why I asked.
which what do you got?
I think we because next week will be Labor Day when we record it. It'll probably be released way after Labor Day. But we should talk about our favorite summer movies.
Okay. New or that we watched?
It could be ones we've watched throughout our time. Let's say we talk about 4 of our favorite summer films.
Okay.
Or let me make this even, or back to school movies.
Hmm.
I mean mixture of both.
Okay.
Can't include Fast Times though, because we already talked about it.
Okay.
All right. That'll be next week's episode. Thank you so much. I apologize if this one seemed a little bit choppy, but I had a good time talking about it. And I feel sorry for ragging on you, Matt.
Well, I think it went with American Rickshaw. It was a little choppy, but still fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I had 4 comedy shows this weekend, which is the most I've had in a while.
Hmm.
And last night I did one in a karate dojo, and they had weapons in there like kendo sticks and samurai swords. And I was going to grab a samurai sword and bring it on stage with me. I had it in my hand and then realized if I had it, I would probably trip as I walked up and impale myself. So I chose not to.
Good choice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was a good time. Are you gonna any movies you're gonna are you any movies you're gonna see over Labor Day weekend in the theater?
Um, I don't think so. I was gonna go watch a couple movies today with the $4 tickets, but I ended up not going to any. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Really don't even know what is new in theaters anymore.
I'm gonna go see Bottoms next week from the director of Shiva Baby
Hmm.
or Shiva Baby.
I don't think we got that one around here.
It starts next week. Some parts of the country got it this week. And then I might go see something I've missed. I don't know.
I did want to see Strays. I
I
just think
don't
it'll be like dumb funny.
I have no desire to see it. I know I'll like it, but I can wait for that one to come out on streaming.
Yeah. Ooh. On the third, Sunday the third, They Live 35th anniversary. That would be cool to see in theaters.
I saw that one last time I saw it in the theater was when I lived in Kansas City. I saw it with AEW wrestler Mike Seidel. I didn't know he was Mike Seidel at that point. And we were talking afterwards, like, yeah, this is the first time I've ever seen it. I was like, that's cool. Did you like it? He's like, yeah, I especially like it because I once had a match against Roddy Piper. I'm like, what you talking about? And he's like, I'm a professional wrestler. Then he told me his wrestling name. I'm like, are you related to Generation Me's Matt Seidel? I mean, WWE's Evan Bourne. He's like, my brother. Like, that is so cool.
Nice.
Yeah. He also had a smoking hot girlfriend at the time too.
Did you go to the movie?
She did, yeah. Yeah, it was me, him, her, and my friend Al. Al was
Just Al.
just Al.
No name, no nickname.
Drunk Al because he drank a lot. But Al, I saw Friday the 13th with him and Mike Seidel and his hot girlfriend, and Al had never seen Friday the 13th before. And I know I've talked about this. And when Jason jumped up, he screamed like Ned Flanders, like a girl. All right. Well, that does it for this week's episode. Our lo-fi PB or not PBS. What's the radio version of PBS?
NPR.
With our NPR slow drudgery episode. Actually, I'm gonna say one more thing before we go. Physical media was trending on Twitter or X this week.
Was it?
Yeah. Yep.
For what reason?
I don't know, but it seemed like, people were just talking about physical media and the importance of it. And it feels like we have this to the outside world. Why would you buy Blu-rays in 4K that's not needed? But we talk about this every week. These companies are saving movies that will never get a shot streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think the streaming model is dead. I will end it on that note. We will see you next week as Matt and I are in the middle of our Labor Day weekend, taking time out to talk films. Thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you all next week.